My name is Francesco Bruzzone. My research is titled Green and Equitable Mobility Solutions for Peripheral Areas. When talking about sustainability, most people think about the decarbonization potential of the transport sector. However, the social sustainability and equity implications of mobility are less debated, despite being fundamental to assure high quality of life, attractiveness, and livability, especially of peripheral areas. In my research, I propose a shift from the 3 E's of sustainability to the 3 What's of equity, by debating first what is equity in transport, second the link between transport plans, projects and services, and equity and sustainability strategies also for peripheral areas, and finally what methods and tools can be used to assess equity implications of transport projects and include equity considerations in transport planning. I debated the first of the 3 what's in the article The Definition of Equity in Transport, published in the journal Transport Research Procedia, which tries to shed some light on the state-of-the-art of transport-related equity studies, discussing different approaches to how the concept can be framed and tied to related terms like justice, fairness, and accessibility. The goal was to show the centrality of equity in contemporary transport planning, but also to call for the definition of a more comprehensive tool for an equity-oriented assessment of transport projects and plans. To discuss the topic of equity implications of transport projects on territories which are left behind by the evolution of the transport system, I approached the topic of high-speed rail, in particular in 2 articles, the first published in the journal Transportation and the second in the journal Socioeconomic Planning Sciences. I debated different upgrading scenarios of existing rail corridors to high-speed rail, and in the first case demonstrated how accessibility benefits are distributed according to different upgrading scenarios, and in the second case according to different evaluation tools retrieved from existing literature. The main findings of the 2 articles confirm other literature in saying that the equity impacts of this kind of transport projects is usually not evenly distributed among municipalities, and that the bigger locations get the most benefits, thus increasing territorial disparity with smaller locations. To conclude, my research highlights that transport projects inevitably bring some level of socioeconomic burden, and we need to understand what level of this burden is acceptable in exchange for the strategic and political relevance of high-speed rail and transport projects in general. We also need to find more appropriate methods to estimate this burden and to assess the quantitative impact of this burden, and this is what I've been trying to do with my research efforts related to high-speed rail. And the relevant next step is to understand how we can lighten this burden by finding appropriate mobility solutions for peripheral areas. Thank you for following this presentation. If you want to know more about my research, please feel free to contact me or connect on LinkedIn, where you will also be able to find more information. Thanks a lot.